Head of Corporate Communications of the Volta River Authority, Samuel Fletcher, has welcomed the announcement of tariff increase from 1st July by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission. Speaking to Joy News, Samuel Fletcher noted though the VRA would have wanted the increase 3 months back, the automatic tariff adjustment formula remains the best option for the industry.
We as providers, I can say that it's a welcoming news. It would have been great if we had had this announcement of 12.09% some 3 months ago. Yet, better late than never. I think that if you ask me, the hope is that the third quarter, the calculation that was done for the third quarter, well, hoping that the service will get even better sooner, that 31% will also be implemented at the right time. The essence of the automatic tariff adjustment formula is to have incremental, or if you like, incremental adjustments of small percentages. One of the reasoning behind it is that it is better than waiting for a year or two to slam consumers with about 80 to 100% increase. So I know that beginning of the year there was an incremental adjustment, also quite small, and now we have 12 point something percent. That for me is good because then we are really following what we had agreed. I mean, given some of the things we encountered during the last tariff adjustment campaign, it was agreed that whatever it is, difficult as it may be, we should try and implement the automatic tariff adjustment from that. For me, there have been hitches, and PURC has given good reasons why the last quarter one was announced but not implemented. Now it has been. I think that there have been hitches, but overall it's progressing, and I'm hoping that it will get to a point where it will be really automatic and not controlled. I think what will affect investor confidence is not necessarily tariff adjustment. I think what will affect investor confidence is the availability and affordability of electricity in the country. But more especially whether the megawatts are available, whether power is available for business. I think that businesses are willing to pay for electricity if they can have it. So the most important thing for us, as far as investment is concerned, is to make sure that power is available in this country.
Thank you very much for staying on here on News Today. Let's get into some other matters, well, relating to the tariffs. Abraham Kumson is General Secretary for the Ghana Federation of Labour, and he's joined me via telephone. Hello, Abraham.
Yes, madam.
You're welcome to the program, but what does the Federation of Labour here in Ghana think about the announcement on the new tariffs?
It's worrying. That's what I would say. It's really worrying, especially when we are expected to, enjoy efficient and sustained power supply, so we could also pay reasonable tariffs. I don't know. It is really worrying because the way the supply is being carried out, it creates a lot of problems for industry. You see, causing a lot of distortion in the course of processing products. So if we are going to pay additional cost of using this energy, I think it's a big problem for us. We are not saying we will not pay, tariffs that will, enable the producers to also break even. not producing what we expect, to use to sustain our production. I don't think that is fair at all. This morning I read something. They were talking about the dollar rate. They have to adjust it so it can reflect. the consumer should not suffer for that. I think that it is unfair. That if there is any problem with the exchange rate, we should not suffer for it. Now, what we are saying is that if they are, giving efficient service, why? We should pay for it.
Would we see you take any action anytime soon?
Come again?
I'm asking if we'll see any action from the Federation anytime soon.
No, we have not met yet. This news is just coming, and we haven't met yet to take a decision on it. But this is my personal opinion that it is not fair, especially when the efficiency is not felt. We are not seeing it. Last night, for instance, we didn't have light all over this place. I live in Tema. Then we thought that in the morning, the light came on briefly in the morning and went off again. And this, if you are in the production, industry of factory, and these things happen, it causes a lot of.
So how soon are we going to hold this meeting to determine what action the Federation will take?
Oh, we are all confused as to what is happening. So I don't know. We are tired.
Well,
we are tired of,
you sound a bit helpless in this case.
That's exactly the situation. That's exactly the situation because we don't. This is not politics. I mean,
right. So
politics into this thing. But
would the Federation just resign to its fate, if you like, as far as the tariffs are concerned?
No, we'll consult. Maybe they are very good. We can even contact the PYC. Before we come out, we will have to contact the PYC to know what their problems are, and also, let them understand the real situation of the factory owners and all that. So at the moment, the jobs of a lot of workers are on the line, and so if these things continue, we'll all be put out of job. So we'll have to first, before we take any official position, we'll have to engage the PRC, and then see how, we can cope with
right. It. Thank you very much, Abraham. Abraham Kumsin is with the Ghana Federation of Labor. Now, for centuries, an age-old tradition of killing disabled children accused of being evil in parts of northern Ghana has sent thousands to the early grave. In 2013, Sirigu and 7 other communities in the Upper East region, notorious for the belief, announced they were no more going to kill spirit children after years of advocacy and community engagement by rights campaigners. 1 year after this announcement, Joy News' Justice Bedu has been to Sirigu to find out what has changed.
Once a dreaded land for disabled children and newborn babies whose births come with bad luck. This is Sirigu, a village in the semi-arid scrublands of Ghana's Upper East region.
We used to kill spirit children because they are evil and are a bad luck on the society. Some of them were really evil, but now some people came and said we should stop killing them. I hope the bad luck of spirit children will not come to harm this village now that we are allowing them to survive. As for me, I'm even old and I've advised the other child killers to stop. I hope they would listen.
Ghana's Act 560 makes child killing criminal, punishable by law. But the secrecy surrounding the act makes it impossible to find any of the killers. This is the Sirigu market, bustling hub of trade activities. Here, once every week, you find all sorts of goods from food items, livestock, and even local herbs. Here, women come from all towns close, from Navrongo through Bokatanga to Paga, and even neighboring Burkina Faso, to trade in all manner of activities every week. But sometimes the chronic levels of poverty would push women mostly to the edge. Change is happening, but there are still fears that spirit children are being killed secretly. Apple Selse was forced to leave her husband's house after her in-laws tried killing her baby because she was born without limbs.
When I gave birth to my baby, my husband's people said I should take her to a concussion man because she was evil. Every night they would come and quarrel with me because I wanted to protect my daughter. They tried killing her themselves and told my husband to divorce me because I had given birth to an evil child. I had to leave because my baby was not safe in that house. Now she's safe with me because so long as I am alive, I would continue to protect her. But my fear is, what would happen to her if I am no more? When I think that, I cry for my baby Angela.
Meanwhile, right campaigners, Africates, which has been at the heart of ending this bloodshed, insist disabled children are now safe in Sirigu.
It's not just a future, it's a present. As we talk now, every child that needs help because of any form of disability, whether it's visual impairment, physical deformity, that help is available. And it's not just help from a campaign organization, it's expert help, expert orthopedic help. We have gotten to a place, as far as Sirigu is concerned and all the 7 villages are concerned, that we have no reason to fear that a child's life in Sirigu will be lost because the community believe that that child is a spirit.
Justice Baidu, Joy News, Sirigu.
Let's go to Wassa Daman in the western region now, where information coming in indicates that a young boy has died after security personnel chased him in a Galamsey area. Our western regional correspondent William Benjamin Peters has joined me over the telephone with the detail. Hello, William.
Hello, Kamini.
Tell us exactly what's happened in Wassa Daman.
Yeah, in fact, it's really a pathetic scene to behold this morning at Wassa Daman in the Pristia Huni Valley district of the western region. I'm told the whole incident happened yesterday when some group of young men went to the dumping site of Goldfields, Wassa Daman. They went in search of steel balls. I'm told the steel balls are used in washing the raw gold. And after they've been washed, the deposits are thrown out, they are dumped at their dumping site. So what these boys normally do is they go in search of them, and they also in return sell it as aluminium. They extract the aluminium content in that steel balls, and they sold it to those who buy aluminium products. So yesterday, I'm told at around 2 p.m., the group of young men went to this dumping site in search of these steel balls. And some security men, it is alleged that some security men of Goldfields chased these boys, and in the process, one of them fell into the pit, which was filled with water. And the pathetic aspect is that these security men, so it's an allegation yet to be verified, but they are claiming that these security men were just standing there and watching this boy as one of them gets drowned, and they did nothing to save his life. And in the process, the boy lost his life. So the other one who managed to escape came into the community and reported the incident to the family of the victim. So they in turn went to the dumping site and confronted the security men who claimed that nothing of that sort has happened. So they kept vigil at the site till this morning at around 9 p.m. when they were able to retrieve the body. So as I speak to you now, the body has been dumped at the Takwa mortuary.
In other words, this boy has been identified. Well, I think we've lost William there, but we'll move on to some other. The Ghanaian economy grew by 6.7% between January and March this year. The growth, according to the Ghana Statistical Service, resulted from the agricultural sector recording a high growth rate of 12.7%. The first quarter growth is, however, a decline over the same period last year, which saw a growth of 9%.
Nominal gross domestic product for the first quarter of 2014 stood at about 25.7 billion cedis compared to 25.8 billion cedis in the fourth quarter of 2013. The three major sectors which contributed to the nominal GDP estimate are the services sector, which contributed most at 51.2%, followed by industry with 33.9% and agriculture with 14.9%. Though the services sector showed no evidence of seasonality, the crops and cocoa subsector under agriculture reflected a positive growth of 0.8%. The mining and quarrying subsector under industry recorded a growth of 8.4%, even though gold declined by 21.7%.
Realized that over the past, before February or even before March, there were complaints or agitation about production in the gold sector. Some were closing down because machinery were old and there wasn't enough funds to recapitalize. But because the prices are increasing, we realized that most of them had to change their policies in terms of reviving the mines and putting additional machinery so that they can continue producing, even though they decided to lay some stuff off. So we see a recovery, and it depends whether that recovery in gold prices would continue so that the mines can be revived.
The manufacturing subsector also recorded negative growth of 0.1% due to a decline in production of food and beverages, rubber and plastic products, and the manufacture of non-metallic products.
Gilbert Ibrahim is an economist and he's joined me over the telephone. Hello, Gilbert.
Hi, good afternoon.
So, according to the Statistical Service, we've seen a growth in the country of about 6.7, if I got the figure right, as a result of a growth in agri of 12.7%. This must be good news for us here.
It actually depends on how you look at it. If agri is growing by 4.7%, but on the whole, if you take it is about the growth rate first quarter, 6.7. Same time, or even we take the last quarter, or first quarter of 2012 to the last quarter, we had a growth rate of about 9%. So within the first quarter, there's a decline of about 2.3%. If you look at it, you will realize that it's not just that good. But and the 6.7%, it came from a total value of goods and services produced with a value of 25.73 billion Ghana cedis. And if you look at the same time, the last quarter last year, and this figure actually includes the oil revenue. And if you take the oil revenue out, the GDP growth is 23.03 billion Ghana cedis. But now when you come to sector, if you take the sector, for example, the tertiary sector, that was the largest contributor to GDP within the first quarter, and we have about 51.2%. And you know, within the Ghanaian economy, the service sector has a huge potential of growth, and it employs a larger chunk of the population. But when you take agri year-on-year growth is 12.7%. And Ghana, we know, is an agrarian economy. And if agri is growing by a year-on-year growth of 12.7%, and that is the whole sector, contributed 14.9% to GDP, up against 61.2% from the tertiary or service sector. You realize our very strength, which is agri, the contribution is not too good. The service and the tertiary sector is quite good, and the growth potentials are huge. But if you come to industry, which will serve as a market to support the agri itself, there is a decline. There is a decline, a negative growth of 1.1% year-on-year growth. It is not too good. And that means that if industry would decline and grow by 1.1%, then it implies that there wouldn't be enough market to support the agriculture sector, and we have to import to supplement domestic consumption. And if we import so much, then we cannot blame for the stability of the currency as well, because the supply of the foreign currency will be limited as against a huge demand for it to import the more. And definitely the city cannot be stable purely on a simple demand and supply principle. Then when you look at the main contributors to GDP to give us the 6.7%, we have livestock production, which expanded within this first quarter by 25.7%. And the fishing expanded by 20%. Financial and insurance community contributed about 20% to the GDP. Then we have social and personal activities, 10.7%. Information and communication, 10.3%. Manufacturing, picking it from the industry, manufacturing as a sector actually declined within the first quarter by 19%. That is expected, because if you look at the power fluctuation and water supply challenges, it's expected that manufacturing sector will not do well. And this might linger within even the second sector, because we still have power situation, even though the water has improved minimum, at a very low level. So we still expect a decline, and the overall growth rate in the year might not be as high as previous years.
I see.
And that's why even government was advised to even rationalize the growth rate for the year, so that we will add prudence to public management in terms of fiscal and monetary policy, so that we'll achieve a very reasonable growth rate and pick up the economy again by the end of the year.
Gilbert, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Let's move on to some other stuff.
It's judgment day for Ghana as the Black Stars comes up against the Portuguese in a must-win game if you are to qualify to the next stage of the competition. But ahead of the game, a lot of stories coming in. You know, you might have heard in town, or you might have heard on a radio nearby you. The story is that midfielders Kevin Prince-Boateng and Sulley Muntari have been sacked from the team's camp in Brazil. Reports say the two players were sacked for fighting at the team's training 2 days ago. There have been reports Kevin Prince-Boateng exchanged words with Coach Kwesi Appiah, and I have a statement from the Ghana Football Association, two statements actually, one on Sulley Muntari and the other on Kevin Prince-Boateng. And the statement on Sulley Muntari reads, the Ghana Football Association has suspended Sulley Ali Muntari indefinitely from the Black Stars camp with immediate effect. It says the decision was taken in the wake of his unprovoked physical attack on executive committee member of the FA and a management member of the Black Stars, Mr. Moses Amapaka, on Tuesday, 24th June 2014 during a meeting. And so Muntari's accreditation for the 2014 World Cup has been withdrawn with immediate effect. So that's on Sulley Muntari. And the other one on Kevin Prince-Boateng reads, the Ghana Football Association has approved Coach Kwesi Appiah's decision to suspend Kevin Prince-Boateng indefinitely from the Black Stars team. The decision takes immediate effect, and it continues that the decision was taken following Boateng's vulgar verbal insult targeted at Coach Kwesi Appiah during the team's training session in Maceió this week. Boateng has since showed no remorse for his actions, which has resulted in the decision. And now Boateng's accreditation, same as Sulley, has been withdrawn with immediate effect. So now the Black Stars, if probably we're able to qualify to the next stage of the competition, we are going to participate with only 21 players, but we went with 23 players by virtue of Sulley and Prince-Boateng's expulsion from camp. Now we've got only 21 players. But, you know, ahead of the game, Coach Kwesi Appiah says the team will not boycott the Group G game this afternoon. The match is at exactly 4 o'clock following a row over appearance fees. You know, the players were irritated. The fees for the World Cup have not been paid since the start of the competition and almost opted out of their trip to Brasilia for their must-win final that we're going to play. All right, so just by way of updates on the Black Stars, the match is at 4 this afternoon, and you can catch live commentary on the Superstation Joy 99.7 FM. We are up against the Germans, and we are up against the Portuguese, and the United States of America will take on the Germans. And in the other game later tonight, we have Algeria coming up against Russia and South Korea taking on Belgium. So when you say a prayer, make sure you say one for the Black Stars, and probably, God willing, tomorrow I'll be back and we'll all be laughing. Thanks so much for your time. My name is Benedict Owusu. Enjoy the rest of the program.
That'll be all for now. A recap of our top story. Remains of the chief of Bimbelat, Nada Sanandani, is handed over to the family for burial. Black Stars midfielders Kevin Prince Wati and Sele Muntari sacked from the team camp in Brazil. Find more news on myjoyonline.com. My name is Kimini Nyamani Amana.